Numbers chapter 35. Then God spoke to Moses on the plains of Moab at Jericho. Command the people of Israel to give the Levites as their part of the total inheritance towns to live in. Make sure there is plenty of pasture around the towns. Then they will be well taken care of, with towns to live in and pastures for their cattle, flock, and other livestock. The pastures surrounding the Levites' towns is to extend 1,500 feet in each direction from the city wall. The outside borders of the pasture are to measure 3,000 feet on each side of the four sides: east, south, west, and north, with the town at the center. Each city will be supplied with pasture. 6 of these towns that you give the Levites will be Asylum-Cities, to which anyone who accidentally kills another person may flee to for Asylum. In addition, you will give them 42 other towns, 48 towns in all, together with their pastures. The towns that you give the Levites from the common inheritance of the people of Israel are to be taken in portion to the size of each tribe. Many towns from a tribe that has many few from the tribe that has few. God spoke to Moses. Speak to the people of Israel. Tell them, when you cross the river Jordan into the country of Canaan, disguise your Salem city, towns to which a person who accidentally kills someone may flee for Asylum. They will be places of refuge from the avenger, so that the alleged murderer won't be killed until they appear before our community in court. Provide 6 Asylum-Cities. Designate 3 of the towns to the east side of the Jordan, and 3 other towns in Canaan proper Asylum-Cities. For the people of Israel, for the foreigner, and for any occasional visitor or guest. 6 Asylum-Cities to run for anyone who actually kills another. But if the killer has to use an iron object, that's just plain murder. He's obviously a murderer and must be put to death. Or if he has a rock in his hand big enough to kill and the other man dies, that's murder. He's a murderer and must be put to death. Or if he's carrying a wooden club heavy enough to kill and the man dies, that's murder. He's a murderer and must be put to death. In such cases, the avenger has a right to kill the murderer when he meets him. He can kill him on the spot. And if out of sheer hatred, a man pushes another or from ambush, throws something at him, and he dies, or angrily hits him with his fist and kills him, that's murder, and he must be put to death. The avenger has a right to kill him when he gets him. If, however, he impulsively punches someone and there is no history of hard feelings, or he impulsively picks up something and throws it, or he accidentally drops a stone tool, a maul or a hammer, say, and it hits and kills someone he didn't even know, was there, and there is no suspicion that there was bad blood between them, the community is to judge between the killer and the avenger, following these three guidelines. It's the task of the community to save the killer from the hand of the avenger. The community is to return him to his asylum city to which he fled. He must stay there until the death of the high priest, who is anointed with holy oil. But if the murderer leaves the asylum city to which he fled, and the avenger finds him outside the borders of his asylum city, the avenger has a right to kill the murderer. And he does not consider guilty of murder. So it's important that he stay in his asylum city until the death of the high priest. After the death of the high priest, he is free to return to his own place. These are the procedures for making judgment from now on, wherever you live. Anyone who kills another may be executed only on the testimony of an eyewitness, but no one can be executed on the testimony of only one eyewitness. Don't accept a bribe, money, in exchange for the life of a murderer. He's guilty and deserves the death penalty. Put him to death. Verse 32. And don't accept a bribe, money, for anyone who has fled to an asylum city so as to permit him to go back and live in his own place before the death of the high priest. 33. Don't pollute the land in which you live. Murderers pollutes the land. The land can't be cleaned up of the blood of murder except through the blood of the murderer. Don't disgrace the land in which you live. I live here too. I, God, live in the same neighborhood with the people of Israel. Thank you for listening to this chapter, and God bless.